Surprise, motherfucker! A new video is here.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So anyways, guys, there's been, well, this is actually a few days ago. I think Mod Ronan posted this on his Twitter. I'm sure a few other JMods probably did as well. But there is a new development blog that has been posted a few days ago. And the first subject on it is, I can move this over for you guys. No, do you guys prefer to look at this whenever I do videos like this? Or do you guys prefer to look at, like, me rune crafting and then me sometimes maybe sliding this over? I don't really know what you guys prefer. I'm going to assume you prefer to just look at this, but just know that obviously in the background I'm rune crafting. So if I feel, if it sounds like I'm fucked up or something, it's probably because I'm concentrating on rune crafting. Here's a downfall. Randoms are not leaving the game. And here's the good thing. You don't ever have to actually interact with randoms anymore. So, the old school team has came up with an idea which seemed to be quite logical. I think a few people actually thought about this one. So I guess good job to everyone that thought about the same thing, yeah. This is going to be really hard to do, all root crafting. I'm also doing freaking fishing, so that's pretty AFK though. I'm doing good right now. Oh yeah, 1k speed drop, freaking 3 seconds of watching RS3. So their current idea for randoms is that they are going to be leaving the randoms in the game, but if you choose to not interact with the random, you will not have to. You can basically just continue doing your skilling, which obviously means if you ever have a genie lamp, or if you ever have the guy that comes and gets you and brings you to that weird book place and knowledge book thingy, yeah, that thing. Those are definitely the two randoms that you will want to actually pay attention to. Quickly just click on the genie guy, get your lamp. I would say the knowledge book one is still worth doing, probably. I mean, it takes a few seconds to get like 1k experience. Or, well, I get like 1.1k experience in that skill. It's like level 77. So, I think you get like roughly 1.5k plus in like a 99 plus skill. So, it's like, I guess it's up to you if it's worth the time or not. But for me, I'll definitely be probably paying attention to both of those just because it's free fucking rune crafting experience. Closer to 91 I go. And as you can tell here, aggressive random events will be retired. So those ones are the only ones that are actually fully leaving. The one where you get the clothes will be staying. So like this bitch right here, and you guys know the freaking frog stuff. So that will be staying, but if you basically don't want to get the stuff and whatnot, then you don't have to talk to them. And I guess they'll disappear after like a minute or something. And even though we all hate the random, the maze random, I think I might do the maze random sometimes because you get like 100k from it. So like if I'm in the mood to do a maze random, I'm thinking I might honestly do it because that's 100k plus sometimes you get from that. I've gotten 300 plus death runes sometimes and 300 plus chaos runes. So, you know, once in a while, if I'm in the mood to make a quick 100k, I might do that. Now, obviously, this is not going to be 100% actually going to happen. This has to be pulled first, and I'm going to bet my ass crack that's going to pass. And don't ask me how if I lose that bet, what happens. I don't really know, but I guess I can't shit again. And I think somewhere up here it did state, although I kind of already knew this, that randoms were in the game because it was basically used to stop botters way back in the day when botters would get fucked over by randoms. But obviously they're a little bit more advanced than that nowadays. So, you know, they can bypass the randoms within a few seconds, and all it's really doing is pissing off the legit players, to be completely honest with you. Alright, and these ones as well are going to be removed, which is actually a very nice thing, to be honest. As you guys know, when you woodcut or when you go mining, although I don't think... Is it true that Dragon Pickaxe never falls off? Because I've never, like, I've AFK'd mining a lot, let alone mining while playing RS3, and I don't think my Dragon Pickaxe has ever fallen off, or the head of it, so I don't think it's possible that one to break. I haven't searched it or not, but I think that's probably what it is. But yeah, if you guys are using a rune pick or even a dragon hatchet, it will no longer break, so you can technically fully AFK now and not have to worry about a random killing you or your hatchet piece or whatever falling off and then somebody picking it up, and then you're basically stuck with a stick in your hand. Now, the thing I love about this the most is that I can finally go take a dump and not have to log out of RuneScape if I'm trying to do like a nice 6-hour log type of thing. Not going for a record or anything, but just wanting to, you know, not log out for a long time so I can see a bunch of experience for the day. So that's a nice thing to know. I don't have to do that anymore, or I don't have to go to my bank and like click on a tab or anything just to make sure I don't get a random, but that's nice. Now, the second thing that will be pulled, which I'm going to assume is going to pass, this doesn't really affect anything in any possible way, which I think it's a good idea. I guess it doesn't affect skillers in any possible way. It probably affects, I don't know if I'd even say PKers, but I guess it's upside for PKers if they ever lose something like their torso, because maybe they DC and they can't get it back. You don't have to go rage quit right away and just log out for the rest of the day, because maybe you took the time and got yourself another torso. But basically, you can get all these rewards from BA now, and you can collect more than just one now and put them in your bank. I'm going to assume it works as a placeholder then, so if you have like 5 torsos, it's just one placeholder. instead of 5 different spaces. But yes, they're going to be removing that limit, which I hardly even knew there was a limit for that. I remember back in the day when it was kind of an issue with the torso, but I mean, I don't really, I don't go PKing, I don't use any of these items really. Only possible efficient one is these, but then again, you can just use the graceful gloves as well. Anyways, moving on, here's a few other things that they might consider doing and polling. If these do pass, obviously they will be in the game. So, the first one I believe was actually mentioned during a live stream. Somebody asked it as a question, but should an animation be added when the Varix Barrel set effects activates? Meaning like you hit through prayer and things like that, or you basically just hit a high number through the prayer. Similar to barrel sets, similar to other barrel sets, such as obviously Guthan's. I don't really even notice. Is there really a Aram's full set? And like I think there is one for Carol's. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone use full Aram's, to be honest, in my life. So I don't even really notice anything but the full Guthan set having an actual effect where you can see it, because obviously you heal and there's that weird purple shit going in the air. But yeah, that's like Varix will have it as well. I wouldn't mind if they added one to DH where like if you get a very high hit and it's because you're wearing full DH. Maybe the hit splat is like orange or something, kind of like how it was pre-EOC with like the DDS specs. You would see 400, 400 and crap like that, and they'd both be like orangish. I wouldn't really personally mind that. I don't know if people would disagree or not. Now, I do have one suggestion myself, and you guys can tell me if you guys agree with this or not, but this isn't related to barrels in any way. If you guys know in RS3, there is currently an adamant plate body that alks for, I think it's around 9,980 GP or so. And I was wondering why nobody really does addy plate bodies on old school, obviously. And obviously back then the answer was because addy bars were like 3-point-something K each, and you would lose bajillions of GP doing addy plate bodies for smithing. Now that Motherlode Mining has come out, addy ores are coming to the game a lot quicker and more often as opposed to before, and like nobody bothered wasting their time with addy ores. They'd rather just get 85 and just do rune. But yeah, addy ores are slowly going down every day, and so are addy bars, because I think if you make addy bars with obviously the ore and the coal at that blast furnace place, you can make pretty good money per hour. But I can imagine it being pretty hard to sell addy bars besides using it for people who make bolts. But I mean, it's normally quite hard to sell like 10,000 addy bolts without having to get ripped off by somebody. Now, if they ever updated the addy plate body out price on old school, which I think right now it's around 7.7K, if they just made that to be 9.9K, whatever it is in RS3, smithing addy plate bodies will probably be a good method for smithing. Right now, it's obviously just superheating, which is a very efficient method either way. But if you don't really need mage experience or anything like that, it's pretty shitty. You can either superheat and lose a lot of money, or you can just smelt the gold bars on the furnace, which is like 50K an hour. But yeah, in the future, it could be a possibility that addy plate bodies might be a good smithing method if they do update the alk price, because then you don't lose too much whenever you're smithing. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about that, if that's a good or bad idea. I mean, I can see some people maybe not liking it because then there's like a different method for smithing, but I mean, addy plate bodies have kind of been in the game for a very long time. This is basically only being affected because addy bars aren't noted when you kill Avancies, or else it'd probably be like 2K each for a bar. Actually, if bars were 2K each, then addy plate bodies would be okay to actually make right now, because you'd only lose like 1 GP and XP or something, which is very cheap. But they're like 2.5K each right now, which, believe it or not, makes a huge difference when you make addy plate bodies. That 500 GP per bar more it affects the GP per XP by a lot whenever you're making addy plate bodies. Anyways, the first question they have here is, should the Master Wand out price be updated? I personally think that every item that has quite a high value, even though there's no GE obviously, but we obviously know that things like whips are going to have an okay value. Any barrels pieces basically, besides like maybe the freaking Aram's staff. Almost anything from Godward's Dungeon besides maybe like an Armadillo helmet basically. All those things should honestly have a good out price where they do protect over other things that are worth a lot less money. That might sound kind of weird, but I just think that should be probably updated anyways in the future. And this guy is... That's just my bad. I'll move this over so you guys can see it. So I told this guy I'd buy his little weird seeds to make adrenaline potions. Not adrenaline, but stamina potions. There we go. Same shit. There we go. Probably made that guy wait like 10 minutes without even noticing. But yeah, I don't see why that poll probably wouldn't pass to make the Master Wand a higher out value, just because it's not really very expensive. It's around, I think, the whip price or so, but obviously if the out value is like 2K, then something shitty protects over it, like freaking addy plate body. Second option, I don't really care too much for. I'll just read a few of these off to you guys that are more kind of important. This one's not too important, but yeah, right now, Wavering Bones, I think they give you 50 prayer experience each right now, I believe. If you just pray them like on the ground, no altar, no bonus, no nothing. And they want to update them to make them identical to the dragon, which to me makes sense. I mean, wyverns are impossible to fucking kill in this game, so I don't see the negative in that. But I mean, who the hell kills wyverns to make money for bones? If anything, those bones should be like freaking frost bones, dude. Those things are so impossible to kill. Now, one thing I do like, and I kind of wish they maybe even put this on RS3 as well, so grats to the JMods in this game. Should the user has logged in and out, PM notification disappear after 10 seconds, which means if you guys look at my screen right now, all those messages right there would be gone right now because it's probably been over 10 seconds. So just kind of gets rid of spam on your screen for like no reason. So I would honestly love that. I kind of wish they made, I don't know if it's possible, but like when somebody logs in, if you press tab, maybe it just goes to them if you can like toggle that on and off, because obviously that can sometimes affect you. But I hate sometimes when someone logs on, it's like, oh, I gotta message them, and then you gotta find them on your friends list, which takes like 10 minutes sometimes. But that would probably affect a lot of people when they're actually typing to different people. Now this one I can see every single PKer falling in love for, and obviously us skillers will vote yes because we're just those kind of up and up guys. Should the game messages basically tell you that whenever your jewelry has charges such as Ring of Forging, yeah, forging, whatever it's called, and obviously for PKers, the Ring of Recoil, should it go in your chat box telling you how many more effects it basically has? I think a recoil has 20 damage on it. I'm not too sure. You guys can correct me on that. I'm not a PKer, but I think a Ring of Recoil has, it's either 20 or 50, but I think 50 sounds pretty OP, so I'm going to assume it's 20 damage. So it'll tell you in the chat box how many more the current one you have has left, so you can bring an extra one if you want or not. But yeah, I can assume that one's going to be voted yes by like every single possible PK there is in this game. Now this one's kind of a big changer, but I think the only people that actually take advantage of this is botters, so I personally wouldn't mind this happening in the game. I like how I'm highlighting this for you guys. I'm so great. So should RuneShop sell packs of 100 elemental runes and also mine and chaos runes? And the chaos rune I would say is a little bit iffy. I'm not too sure there's people that runecraft chaos runes for money. Probably not, but I think at one point actually in the future, if chaos runes went up a little bit more, that'd actually be quite efficient to make them. Not efficient, but they'd be pretty good money because you can double chaos runes. I think at like level 77 runecraft or 76, around there, 74 I think it actually was, which basically means if chaos ever went to like 150 each, it's possible that they'd be pretty good to runecraft versus like maybe even law runes. But yeah, for this I would agree with. Possibly not the chaos runes. I think chaos runes, unless they sell them for a pretty decent price in the bank or at the store for like maybe like 130 each or so, then that'd be okay. But keep it profitable for people that do Slayer that, you know, obviously need chaos runes. Or pick up chaos runes, so it's still worth picking them up, obviously. And this did remind me when I was looking over this, by the way. If you guys remember, I know we're kind of way into the video, but comment the word gains if you guys remember this. So on RS, this is way before RS3. This is before EOC, I believe, as well. But a long time ago, they used to have every single store actually gave you unlimited amount of anything you want to buy from it, which means feathers, bait, runes from stores, and everything. It was kind of weird, to be honest. I don't know if it was a bad or good thing. Can't really recall, but obviously nature runes were sold for a higher price, so it wouldn't affect doubling nature runes or anything. But I think death runes were like 301 each in the store or some shit, and you could buy a bajillion if you wanted to. So yeah, that was pretty cool, to be honest. I didn't have to deal with merchers anymore. I would just go to the store and just buy as many as I want, and I can go barraging all I want. Didn't have to deal with merchers. But yeah, if you guys remember that being in the game, comment the word gains, and we'll see how many of you guys made it 14. This is so long. This is supposed to be just a few minutes talking about randoms. So these are like the last two I'll probably read off before we get too lengthy in this video. This basically just means we can now get placeholders for these two items, Magic Secateurs and the Ectophile. I think this would be great to have a placeholder for. Right now, I think if you do a farm run, which reminds me, actually, I might have to do... Nah, my herbs are pretty good. But for farm runs, you have to... most of the time, you'll have placeholders for everything when you do a farm run. But you can never have the Magic Secateur placeholder or the Ectophile placeholder. So having this update would be pretty cool. I would probably say something like maybe... Does it say here at all? No? Okay, I would say like maybe buy one for like 100k. So it's like a tiny bit of a money sink. I have no idea. But that'd be pretty easy to do. Go to the guy, buy a Magic Secateurs, a second pair for 100k. Go to the guy, buy another Ectophile for 100k cash. And if I guess you ever lose one, then you have to pay 100k to get another one back. Good idea? Yeah. Anyways, this was not meant to be this long. I do apologize if this got boring and all for you guys, but yeah, I'm just kind of skilling, so might as well talk about something. I kind of feel like I'm almost doing a stream right now. I'm just talking about a few updates. But anyways, hopefully you guys are sort of entertained by those updates that we're going to be getting and by this video. I think I like basically almost everything on here, besides possibly, like I said, the runes in the store. That can be a little bit unhealthy for some things, like rune crafting, depending on what they sell the chaos runes for. The one thing I think I've noticed is, like, how much money does the mage guy in the wilderness sell runes for? I'm not talking about the Zamorak mage. I'm talking about where you get like the god friggin' I forget what it's called. The mage, is it called the mage arena? No, not the mage arena. The mage something. It's in the wilderness, right by the web thingy, 55 wilderness. I forget what it's called, but it's where you have to cast like 250 cash to unlock the Gothic spell, the Zambi spell. So I think that place sells nature runes for like quite cheap. I think a lot of botters actually hop around worlds and just buy those things. Especially now with like short keys, you can hop very, very quickly. And with things obviously like Orion quick hop method that has been added recently as well. That can be quite abusive for things like buying runes in the store for a very cheap price and then selling them for higher. Why the fuck did I bring this with me? I'm not really paying attention. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Fucking 16 minutes. This is like a lot of fucking 15-minute plus videos I've been releasing lately. It's crazy. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video. All kinds of gains in this bitch. And happy making gains.